Hi everyone, just wanted to do an updated video since the last time I made a video, which was a couple of weeks ago. So on December 3rd, 2025, I appeared in family court at 361 University Avenue, where a motion was heard by Justice Hood in regards to the admissibility of the order which gave my child away. On that motion, I addressed the facts that the order should be considered inadmissible because it was made in violation of several law, such as the first thing was that it was made after the expiry for making a judgment, and no authorization was granted by the Chief Justice. Another thing that I addressed was that there was already an ongoing appeal of one of the temporary orders that was ongoing and was issued prior to the release of the final judgment. So it shows that I was actually there has been some kind of conflict. And the third issue was that I filed complaints against Her Honor that gave my child away with the Justice Department, and I proved that the email address was served to the right party, the people that, regardless of where you bring any proceeding against such party, I did serve it to the right people, so that their employer or whoever is in charge was very much aware that there was a possible conflict. Now, I also proved that I took reasonable actions to ensure the court, where the judge who made the order, who was very much aware of the facts that she was in conflict, that there was an ongoing appeal, and the fact that she was made aware that she did not have any authorization, extra time granted to her to make a judgment. So all of this information was before Her Honor before she made the decision. So I asked the court to have that order quashed, which is called invalidated, or make it inadmissible. And then, the parties did say that they did not want to go for a retrial. So I'm not really sure what the judge will do, but as of right now, I believe this is December 14th, 2025. So it has been, no, it's December 13th, 2025. So it has been 10 days basically since the motion was heard, and we are still waiting for the decision of the court. I did follow up with court since then a few times. I followed up with the trial coordinator's office as well as their judicial assistants to provide them with my draft order for His Honor Justice Hood to consider. As well, I informed them that it is very cold outside right now. My son, he's in London, Ontario. He walks 40 minutes to go to school in the morning, and then he walks 40 minutes back after school. And it's pretty difficult for him, and that I would like to arrange transportation and such for him. So I want the court to make a decision as soon as possible so that I can make these arrangements. I also asked His Honor, and I informed the judicial assistant as well as the trial coordinator's office that even if His Honor decides to give me my son back, or whatever decision he makes, I ask that my son remain with his father until the end of first semester of grade 9, which ends on January 28, 2026. But I am granted access with my son, in-person access and virtual access with my son without any kind of restriction whenever I want, as long as it doesn't interfere with his education or any other activities that he's involved in. This way, I haven't seen my son in 19 months now, a year and a half, close to 2 years. This way I will be able to spend more in-person time with my son, spend the weekend with my son, or spend Christmas holidays with my son, and that I can start to rebuild my relation that is kind of broken right now. and start to get, start to rebuild a relationship and friendship, so that if he does come back on after January 28th, end of his first semester of school, it's not going to be very stressed where he's just coming back and then starting a brand new school the next day. That's going to be too much pressure. So this kind of gives an opportunity for him to kind of know what's happening and kind of transition where he can, perhaps spend the weekend at my home, so that it's a better transition period during this time. So I'm still waiting for his honor to make a decision. So I guess I will find out. When I find out, I'll let everybody know. I really, really hope, like last time, it took over 7 months to get a decision, and it was very disappointing. And I addressed this in court that I haven't seen my child in a very long time, and I would really appreciate it if a decision can be made as soon as possible. My son, he's not a little baby. I don't do any crimes. I don't hit him, curse him, or anything like that. So there's not gonna be, he's not gonna be any danger or anything. And I addressed this in court multiple times, that my son will be attending in-person school starting January 30th of 2026, which is when the second semester of grade 9 starts, where he gets brand new courses and classes, subjects, so that it won't affect his education at all. So I'm still waiting to hear back from the court, so I'm not really sure what's happening, when I will get the order. I hope that his honor, he seemed like a very nice person. I hope that he makes a decision as soon as possible, so that I can be reunited with my family, my son, sooner than later. But I'm not really sure what's happening. I'm kind of really worried about it. Every time nowadays they reserve a judgment, I know that they have the right to think about all of that, but to me it just feels like a nightmare, because last time I literally I lost my son. So it just brings back really horrible memories that really kind of, it's just really bad. It just feels really bad. It just brings up horrible nightmare memories. So I know that 100% for sure that I'm right, and that the order should be considered inadmissible. So and then I'm not really sure what they plan to do. I did provide the court my the documents that I filed. I did file evidence that the Children Aid Society is not looking for a retrial. So I'm not really sure if his honor will review that, has that information, should be on case lines as well. But yeah, so I just don't know what's happening right now. So so I don't know what will happen, but I will keep everybody updated. And on the second note, while this order is, we are still waiting for the order, I had the notice of appeal issued for the order where my freedom of speech is being violated, and I felt as if I was being threatened, and that there was a possibility of fraud, that they may ask me for money or try to wrongfully imprison me for trying to expose their scam. So so the first hearing, and it's not the final hearing, the first hearing is scheduled for January 19th of 2026. And I did serve the Toronto police with a copy of the notice of appeal, and I provided them with a draft order of the issues that I was trying for the police to look into. Prior to this, I actually contacted the police myself, and I basically asked that these people have taken my son from my care, and there's a possibility that these people are being paid by somebody, or that they're working with opponents on my other case proceedings, that there's a possibility that they had my son abducted and they're holding my son hostage to try to win a case against me, which is highly illegal. and I informed the people who is likely. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not making allegations, and I'm not going to name those people right now. But that there's a possibility that those people are involved with my to have my son taken from my care, and that they're manipulating the child protection application, and that they are working with a certain court personnel that are friends with these people to try to keep my son hostage from me, to try to intimidate and threaten me right now. There's like not even a like 0.001% possibility that I'm gonna back down, but it is very serious. So I did contact somebody who is possibly connected to these people, and I informed them that I did notify the Toronto police and so on to look into this, and that I am not currently I have not made any allegations. However, I asked that the Toronto police may look into um, to see if they're in any way involved with the apprehension of my child, and if they're any way associated with any lawyer, judge, court staff, whoever the Children Aid Society worker, the CS lawyer, the OCL lawyer, whoever it is, if they're in any way associated with those parties, and if they're manipulating the system in a way to keep my son away from me in order to intimidate and cause stress into my life and cause financial emotional harm. So, and plus that it is illegal to take somebody's child away. It's called child abduction, and then holding a child hostage basically right now. So I'm not really sure what the Toronto police will do. That's a whole another story right there. But I am going to court next month to try to get an order issued to have them investigated, and I'll let everybody know if the Toronto police lawyer says the Toronto police doesn't want to investigate any crime, that would be very inappropriate. Or if the judge says that she doesn't want, or they don't want anybody investigating, if there's a possibility of child trafficking, that would be obviously even more alarming. And I'll keep everybody informed if something like that happens, and I'll make more videos more closer to the time regarding this. So so I told them that if the Toronto police decides to formally start an investigation regarding this, after that, even if those parties settle my case, dismiss my case, proceed with my case in a regular route, whatever it is, if the Toronto police starts a formal investigation regarding this, regardless of the outcome of those proceedings, I'm not going to be able to stop them anymore, to stop any investigation anymore, if they find that there is some kind of crime involved. So if the Toronto police take them to criminal court or whoever, I'm not going to be able to stop, because it's going to be against them and the police. I would have like no say in it whatsoever at all. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to obviously resolve the case, and I did actually, and they said that no, they're aware that the police may investigate. I don't know what the Toronto police will do, but yeah, so I guess I'll let everybody know how that goes. Clearly, there's a lot of issues in Canada, and I don't feel safe here. I've been wanting to move out of Canada for a few years now. My ex-husband, my friends, my family, my mom and dad, they all know that I want to move. I don't know, for some reason, like the court is more concerned about my moving to another country than my own family, which is like really, not really none of their business, but still. uh, and there's some kind of misunderstanding regarding this. So on December 3rd, when I appeared in court, I told them that I want to move to Europe and I want to possibly move to Greece. My ex-husband was there at the hearing. He didn't really say anything. So I don't really know, like, for some reason I just feel like these people are more invested in what I should do, what I should wear, what, it's like, than my own family, which is like very creepy. But yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So currently I am waiting to hear back from the court regarding the outcome of the motion, which was heard on December 3rd. I'm hoping that I get to see my son as soon as possible because I do miss him a lot. The second thing is I'm waiting for either the Toronto police to start an investigation or appear in court next month and to try to get an order. And I am kind of concerned about what will happen if the court will say that we don't want to investigate child trafficking. So that would be a very alarming situation. So, I will be doing a lot of videos about that in the next few months. And then the fact that the possibility that, I am being threatened and at this point and intimidated into uh, keeping quiet about these situations, trying to intimidate to keep my son from my care, keeping him hostage, to intimidate, to fear in me, cause financial harm, emotional harm, pain and suffering, destroy my relationship with my family, break up my family to try to win a case. Obviously, that is not an appropriate professional way to deal with the situation. So, I will be doing a lot of videos regarding this in the next coming weeks, and I will keep everybody informed about what's happening. I am under a lot of stress, but thankfully right now I have no other court work to do for the next month and a half. So I guess I'll just, kind of see what happens. But I'm just really hoping right now that Justice Hood, if you're watching this video, because I know you were provided with my YouTube link, please, please, please give me my son back. I really miss him a lot. He's a really big kid. Nothing's bad gonna happen. You can try to, you don't have to technically dismiss the OCJ file. You can still just, make a decision in my favor and keep the OCJ file ongoing. So this way, you can just say that nobody's seeking retrial, the order is inadmissible, so the child goes back. I'm not really sure the legal terms what it would be, but I think it would be best to still have this issue investigated into if I'm being threatened by anybody to keep quiet and that they intend to rip me off, which would be really bad because my opponent is an organization funded by the government, and if the government is attacking my safety and well-being and my family, obviously that is not a safe country to live in for me and my family. It should not be a safe country for any children. That if children and their parents are being abused and then the children are being abducted and threatened, that is a serious issue. And it is child trafficking, and it's a national threat to the public safety of all families in Canada. So I hope you make a decision which is just so if you're watching this, I hope you make a decision which is in the best interest of all parties. Government wastes a lot of money, to be honest, and it's not trying to save their money, you need to think about what's in the best interest for a mother and child, and where they will be safe in the long term, and the possibility if the child will, if there's a serious risk of harm. I mean, he's a really big kid, he can handle himself. He's in grade 9. There's no hitting, cursing, nothing. He eats, everything is fine. There's minor issues, and I guarantee that he will be in good care. So see if it's possible to have my son back in my care while continuing the case, the OCJ file, to proceed to have the police order issued to have them investigated. I would really appreciate it. That's all for today. Thank you, and I will make an updated video in a few weeks again.